Welcome to this Windows channel. This is the Tech News Update for Friday, April 8, 2016. And this last day of the week, we have, of course, a few news items. There was not a lot. It's kind of quiet in the news of technology news right now, but we got a few bits here and there. First of all, a new encryption ransomware is actually circulating. And what's interesting on this one is that not only does it lock your computer, because ransomware for a long time just encrypted files, but your computer was still usable. Now it locks out your computer, so you can't get in, you can't use it, and now this one even displays your postal address. And you might think, well, how do they know my postal address? Very simple. Your IP address is pinpointed to your home address. So your personal IP from your computer actually does tell people where you are. That's why when you look at Google Maps, for example, and you ask where am I located, it actually can pinpoint where you are when you're at home on your Wi-Fi network. It can pinpoint with your internet connection's IP. So they're using the same trick. The funny thing here is if you live in a single home, now that's a problem because you are pinpointed. But if you live in an apartment complex like I do, for example, well, they pinpoint the apartment complex, but they can't pinpoint which apartment you live in, which gives it a little more fuzziness. But you know what? It's all in the effort to scare you and try to have you pay. Because of course, they're trying to tell you, well, you know what? If you don't pay, we know where you live. But you know what? They won't do anything. It's just they're trying to scare you even more so that you can pay the 1 or 2 or 3 bitcoins that they want. Now, I have important information for everybody because a lot of people say, well, how can I protect myself? I need a good antivirus for ransomware and so on. You know what? I have been called for many ransomware problems in the past few weeks. And I can tell you one thing. Every single person that had ransomware received a email that looked weird with a file attachment, and they clicked the file attachment. And you know what? When I say to everybody, follow your instincts, everybody that I went to, help them with their computer told me it looked weird, but I still clicked. Follow your instincts. If they would have followed their instincts because the email looked weird, they would not have been infected. So you got to be careful and follow your instincts. Don't click on unknown email file attachments. And you know what? We should just ban email attachments. They are too dangerous. Well, self-driving trucks now. In Europe, a fleet of self-driving trucks is actually going across Europe. And this is a test, of course, to see if we can replace the human truck driver with, trucks that will just go on their own from point A to point B. That's scary when you think about it. Think about, in 5, 10, or 15 years, all the jobs are going to be lost because of technology like this. Pretty amazing when you think about it. A self-driving truck with nobody on board going through the highway and just, going from point A to point B and delivering packages and stuff. It's amazing, but it's scary also. And I was reading a study that was saying that in 20 years, millions and millions of jobs are going to be lost just because all the technologies are going to replace human workers. It's interesting, but it's also scary when you think about it. So hopefully we're going to see that maybe human interaction is better than computers. Who knows? Google has said that they will warn admins of networks and, of course, let them know when social engineering threats are happening. Google has said that there are some statistics and there are some features or some things that actually they can see and detect that it looks weird. It's not like a regular human interaction and so on. So they say that they can actually detect when social engineering threats are happening. Social engineering threats are probably the number one reason why companies get hacked. Because what happens is somebody takes a list of employees from a company, and once they have that list, what they do, they call system administrator and they try to say, well, I forgot my password, and they try to be nice and try to basically lure the system administrator and giving them a password or something to give access, and then all hell breaks loose. The most recent case that was really popular is the Department of Justice and FBI in the United States, where thousands and thousands of employees' information, personal information, were leaked on the web, and that was made by social engineering. Somebody trying to pass for an employee that forgot his password. Because of human nature that wants to be nice, well, an system admin will say, oh, well, okay, here's a temporary password, and so you can log in. Of course, Google says there are things that they see that can help system admins, and they can get warning with some of the new systems that actually Google is working on. So who knows? Maybe Google will help in making social engineering a little less of a problem in the future. Adobe Flash Player. There's a flaw in Adobe Flash Player. Now, here's the thing. If you aren't using Adobe Flash Player, so if you didn't download it, don't worry. There will be an update for Edge and Chrome and all the operating systems coming, and I don't have any date yet, but your Flash Player in your browser will be updated automatically. So don't worry, and don't go download any Flash Player. It's useless. If you use Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, or Internet Explorer 11, they have Flash Player integrated. Just wait for an update that will fix the flaw. But if you are using Flash Player as a standalone, then I really want you to go to adobe.com to download Flash Player. Don't search for it. On your browser's window, and I'm going to show you here, you go to adobe.com, and once you're on the web page of adobe.com, here, continue to Canada, on the adobe.com website, you will see downloads. On the bottom right, you will see Adobe Reader Flash Player. So click the Flash Player there and go into this web page. Do not do it in any other way. Now here I have a Flash Player, so that's why they say, well, you know what, the Flash Player is already on my machine. But if you have a standalone Flash Player, it will update itself. And the flaw apparently is already being exploited. What we know is that the flaw in Adobe Flash Player, actually, the people that have exploited send ransomware through it. So it's important that you update this. And as soon as a update to the Flash Player for Chrome, Edge, and Internet Explorer 11 is available, I will of course post a video to let everybody know that it's time to update, as this is a critical flaw. And talking about Flash Player, Microsoft Edge will be freezing Flash Player in a future version. And what I mean by that is that right now, if you're in Chrome, or if you are in certain other types of browsers like Opera, there is a possibility that if Flash Player seems weird, or if there's a Flash Player problem, the browser freezes the Flash Player and stops it from actually working. Microsoft Edge will integrate this technology also in a future version. This will enable Edge to actually make sure that you don't have some bad Flash Player trying to run through your system. Because with Flash Player, you can do pretty much anything you want. Inject, malware, viruses, and so on. So this will be kind of a new feature that will basically keep Flash on a leash. So instead of Flash doing whatever it wants, when weird behavior seems to happen, Microsoft Edge will have the ability to just stop Flash Player from working temporarily to make sure that you don't get infected with malware. And Flash Player is less and less needed, and if you look at how Google will handle Flash and everything, I think it's time that we move on to something else. HTML5 can do pretty much everything now. So that was the news update for Friday, April the 8th, 2016. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. Maybe you have a problem, share it with us. We'll try to help you if we can. Give us thumbs up and please subscribe. You'll know when new videos are online. Hope you enjoy the videos and have a nice weekend.